Today is June 18, 2025, giving you guys your daily Ori 3 news. Happy day 100 for this channel, Daily Ori 3 News. For today's news status is going to be a 100th day special with all the news that we have gotten so far. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel, watching it, leaving a like, and of course leaving a comment, and for making this channel hit almost 50 subscribers. Even though all new beginnings start small, hopefully in the future we will grow big. With all that being said, enjoy the compilation of all the news we have gotten so far. Back in April 9th, 2024, we got a tweet from Oribox says Game Informer interview with Moon Studios about an Ori 3. Thomas Mailer says he has some ideas for a third Ori game, quote, I have a title for it already. He continues, I have some ideas, but so far right now, we are completely focused on Norse for the Wicked. This is huge. With the title of the article is saying why Moon Studios made Norse for the Wicked instead of a third Ori game. However, while Norse for the Wicked is Moon Studios' main focus for the time being, and considering it's a game being developed alongside the community in early access, it could be the studio's focus for years to come. Studio CEO and creative director Thomas Mailer says he has some ideas for a third Ori game. I have a title for it already, he says. At this point, Corot jumps in to explain he didn't know about this, stating, I didn't know that it was on the table. Mailer continues, I have some ideas, but so far right now we're completely focused on Norse for the Wicked for the time being. Our second form of a somewhat Ori 3 news, where Thomas Mailer says, Noel, I hope now you folks understand why we won't be making Ori 3 anytime soon with the focus of Norse for the Wicked. And a recent one about a half a month ago, where Oribox makes this tweet saying, holy shit guys, this is it, Ori 3 might be real soon. Microsoft has approached Moon Studios, Thomas Mailer for development of Ori 3. Quote, we had a call with Microsoft a few days ago, let's see what'll happen, from a Reddit post from the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit. Now, assuming so, I don't know if this is either the Ori Discord or the Norse for the Wicked Discord of him sending these messages, but with him saying, I promised people on X, which is Twitter, that I'd reveal the title I had for Ori 3 once we sell 10 million copies of Norse for the Wicked. Captain BG says, I'd rather another Ori not be made if it's not under Moon, to be honest. I don't think we need a third Ori game that badly. Where he responds, I think the biggest issue is probably story. You could already take all the mechanics we made for Wisps and just expand upon that, and you need some incredibly good level designers, but story-wise, I'm not sure I could think of any studio off the top of my head that would fit perfectly to continue Ori's story. Stress says Moon Studios and Team Cherry collab with the emoji of explosion. He responds by saying that would be rad indeed too. Hayes, or Heisey, however you pronounce your name, says Ori 3 is currently being worked on by some studio. Might be, but in that case that would never reach out to us. No, they would never reach out to us / me, which I think would be very strange. Sunfuck Rogue and Survival Haters says, I know Wicked is like designed to be a perfect game, but I am kinda sad. It means we don't get a 3D platformer from you guys for at least 10 years, at Thomas Mailer. Don't know about that. Wicked is highest priority for me, but we just had a call with Microsoft a few days ago. Let's see what'll happen. We'll be able to do a lot of things, but again, I'll be on Wicked and perfect it. Now, there's really nothing else that is Ori related so far. However, we got some celebration from Xbox of its 10th anniversary, showing that Xbox does care for the indie game platform Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This one still gets the tears flowing. Happy 10th anniversary to Ori and the Blind Forest. In some more unrelated Ori news, Thomas Mailer made this tweet by saying, in other amazing news, the Ori series has now sold more than 15 million copies. Not too shabby for a Metroidvania and a genre we were told is dead when we started to work on it. So thank you to everyone who supported us so far. Much love. During the Norse for the Wicked Insider, both Thomas Mailer and Giddy Carroll have confirmed that they are now a fully independent studio after acquiring the rights of the early access game, that being Norse for the Wicked, from the unfortunate shutdown of Take-Two Interactive from legal action that they couldn't speak, but now that they have the green light to do so while the Norse for the Wicked Insider was premiering. Oribox made this tweet where he said, if Moon Studios isn't an independent studio now, that makes me wonder. When it comes to being fully independent, does that also mean no partnerships of any kind? Also meaning if Microsoft wanted an Ori 3, would they still be okay with doing partnerships, or would they do their own IPs? And that's a really good question of whether or not they have the right to do what they want to do as an independent studio, and if when they make a sequel to the Ori series, that being Ori 3 with the unknown title, as said previously in January 27, 2025, where he said, and I'm assuming the Norse for the Wicked Discord, well, he will reveal the title for Ori 3 once Norse for the Wicked gets 10 million copies, which is a reference to what he said exactly 1 year and 1 day ago, when he said that Ori and the Blind Forest has sold around 10 million copies, which probably makes it the most successful Metroidvania ever made, but its dev could have gone bankrupt. Now, I have talked to an artist that is no longer in the Ori community, and he has said that it is a pretty strange business practice that Thomas Mandler is planning. But I guess with how many people are fans of roguelikes and souls-likes, and the fact that a famous set of streamers have gotten the access, and well, I should say early access to Norse for the Wicked, I guess so that Norse for the Wicked could sell 10 million copies, but for that to be an instant, it's gonna take a while for it to sell well and the attention that it would get naturally and not by force. With that said, we're gonna have to wait for what Moon Studios is planning up now that they're fully independent. Will this be a good long run, or will it be cut short with any interactions or interference by their previous publishers? Only time will tell for what we are going to be seeing next. On my second episode of Daily Ori 3 News, that being Daily Ori 3 News Day 2, Moon Studios is now independent, I got a comment from Jesus Amembro saying Ori 3 is already a thing. Leaker said it's happening, along with Phil Spencer himself playing Ori on Xbox, hence it's happening. And what he's referencing is a tweet made by OriBox where he says Ori 3 is definitely coming. Phil Spencer has a history of playing games after taking or seeing a studio after looking at their new project. When Phil Spencer came back from seeing Hellblade 2, he played Hellblade again. Same thing with Ninja Gaiden, and same thing with Gears. Huge today. Now, this is Phil Spencer's apparent Discord profile picture with P3 as his username, and as you can see, at the time of this tweet being made by OriBox, he was online playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I did reply to Jesus Amembro where I said, I have seen the picture of Phil Spencer playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. However, I haven't seen anything about the leakers, quote unquote, claiming that it is true. Is there an article or screenshot you can send to me on Twitter? I'll be making another episode if this is true. But as you can see, I still made this episode anyway. Now, I guess in a way to support this claim was when the Red Dragon made this tweet almost a month ago where Phil Spencer changed his bio from head of Xbox to head of Microsoft Gaming. Now, of course, this is somewhat related to the multi-platform shift that they've been public about for already a year. And I guess not to sound schizo, but with the background that Phil Spencer is using on his official Twitter account is probably hinting that Ori 3 is gonna be made, I probably sound schizo. I'm probably breaking character in this episode. So I guess I do believe that maybe Ori 3 could be in the works with Phil Spencer playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I guess we might have some little updates in the future, but for now, we'll just have to take this as a grain of salt and have our hopes in a positive light and not in a negative tone. With the tweet being made by OriBox himself saying, rumor, Moon Studios is working on a port on both Ori games to the PS5 and is right now in the development stage and slated to come out sometime next year. Hopefully we hear more about the port, maybe they can confirm if they are making it. Now, though this is a rumor of both Ori games going to PlayStation, and with Xbox's public switch of all games going to their rival consoles, that being PlayStation and or Nintendo Switch, this rumor could be true in the sense that the other rumored Xbox games that were going to get ported to PlayStation, such as Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones, both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps could be a possibility. Only time will tell when we get more news in regards of both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps to get ported to the PS5. With this being said by Ori Box himself, saying been seeing more and more on Ori coming to the PS5, and it looks like it's going to happen sometime in the future. Both Ori games will be out on the same day, but not sure really how soon. Funny enough, Moon Studios never turned down the rumors of both Ori games coming to PS5. So with these rumors now becoming more widespread, it is now a high possibility, as I talked about it on the last episode, that we had news about anything Ori related. There is a very high possibility now with Ori going to PlayStation because of how many rumors that Ori Box has been seeing. So far, and sadly, we don't have a release date or a confirmation of when this is going to be ported to the PS5, but it is good that we're seeing more and more rumors being spread, with this being highly likely that Ori is going to the PS5. In the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit, it says, "Hey Ori fans and mods, last night I interviewed Thomas Mandler, the head of Moon Studios, which made Ori. In it, we discussed Ori 3, if it has any fur, and how the game was made. Now, in it, with the title, this does sound pretty misleading because it's a pretty big, claim to talk about Ori 3. Though, when it comes to a newer project being made, not a lot of things can be said. Therefore, there's such thing as a non-disclosure agreement, or an NDA. For Paul makes a comment saying, to save everyone's time, video is 1.5 hours long. I found exactly where they talk about Ori 3. It took me forever, but short answer to Ori 3, no comment. The long answer was when the speaker says, obviously people are huge fans of Ori and the Will of the Wisps as well. Will a third Ori 3, ever be planned to be made? Is there a plan in your head, or are we dedicated full time to North for the Wicked for the next few years? Are we thinking launching a third Ori after North for the Wicked? Question mark. People are curious." Now, Thomas Mandler responds to this by saying, "I can't tell, no comment, I can't tell you any of that, I get in hot water, but I can't say anything. Not sure why the stupid bait in the title, but yeah, no news, no comment. I'm guessing potentially down the road if he has to be hush hush. I think we can assume that there is something happening, either a PS5 port, a third game, or both." Now, for Paul replied to this by saying, "Agreed, but why the bait in the title, man?" With the disappointed emoticon. Now, though it is kind of disappointing with this interview, it is cool to know that he went down to earth with this interview, but with this misleading title of anything about Ori 3, it's pretty much a letdown. But at least we got a reply to Thomas Mandler when he got asked that question during the interview. With the Reddit post being made by more_photographer_4 on the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit, the title says, "Ori coming to PS5, possible hint from Moon Studios CEO." This was translated from German, where the question was, can we perhaps expect the two brilliantly magnificent Ori games for the PS5 sometime in the near future? His response was the salmon must be buttered, with the original picture he used for the reply, which could be interpreted as things have to be done properly. Now, the list of responses of this Reddit post were very supportive, with Bob Midberger saying, "Now even more people can enjoy our beloved Ori." Emarantine Azure, if I'm saying that correctly, with him saying, "I don't usually do this, but if it happens, I'll gladly be buying those games for the third time." Consistent_phase A22 says, "Yay, more people can see Ori." For Paul says, "This and Halo were the only reason I bought my Xbox Series X launch day, and 5 years later, still the only two games I played on my Xbox. Can't wait for it to come to PlayStation. Hope they bring 4K at 120Hz too, and maybe even more with PS5 Pro." Solarstone2149 says, "Wish they made a third game. They could do follow-up if you watched Ori 2 ending, but I censored that line because I feel like that is a potential spoiler." And lastly, _RKS2_ says, "Oh my god," repeatedly, which he couldn't control his typing method with a T in the middle. Now, I guess in a way we do have some small confirmations here and there about Ori possibly going to PS5 for this entire month, really. With more of these coming on the way, it is very likely that we're going to be seeing Ori on the PS5, and also both games, that being Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. With the tweet being made by Oribox himself, he says, "I've seen some old Ori rumors get leaked and then shot down. Before, with the stuff I've been seeing about both Ori games coming to PS5, nothing has yet to be turned down. I think it's coming. And just like before, it could just be on a random day." Now that is true, there has been some articles of whether or not there's going to be a PS4 and or PS5 port for Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, with the recent one asking if the Ori series is coming to PS5. And that is true, the speculation of Ori going to PS5 has not even been shut down, even with the video I made recently of Thomas Miller responding if there could be a PS5 port of both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which he responded in German by saying that the salmon must be buttered, in a way of saying that things must be done properly, which I did talk about in my recent video of the news that we have gotten so far. And with the frequent talk of Ori going to PS5, there's no denying, like I said in my previous videos, that it's going to the next console. On top of that, with the whole Xbox multi-platform shift and the fact that both Ori games are most likely going to PS5 specifically, just like Hi-Fi Rush when it got ported to PlayStation, but only as a PS5 exclusive. Now, with him saying that it could just be a random day, could be saying that it will be a shadow drop, which in fairness is a theory, but we'll have to wait that we'll get a release date for one Ori game and the second one, or both Ori games in one release date trailer. With the video being posted by Ike Reviews, this was posted back in 2021, and if you're checking his channel, he has posted some other leaks, that being Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Evolutions, the Pokemon Generation 10 Starter Pack, the Avengers Doomsday Leak, including the Mortal Kombat 1 roster stages, modes, and DLC leaks, and the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC leaks as well. And in the sense this is my first time doing this, here's the video. And I do find it pretty ironic where Oribox did make this tweet by saying that he has seen some old Ori rumors get leaked and shot down before, but with Ori games going to the PlayStation, nothing has been yet turned down, and this video has happened to be one of them. Now, even though this does look legit, in the bio in his YouTube channel, it does say that he's the biggest troll on the internet, so we don't know if this is true or not. And if it is true, we're going to be having a release date trailer sometime this year or next year, or potentially in the Summer Game Fest is happening in June 6th. With Jeff Keighley, the host of Summer Game Fest, Gamescom, and the Game Awards, making the tweet saying, "We're proud to welcome a record-setting 60+ partners for Summer Game Fest 2025, a global celebration of video games in Los Angeles this June." And with a glance, you see a handful of developer and publisher names in this roster. I don't know why I said it like that, but let's just keep it. And right off the bat, you see Xbox and PlayStation in the roster. Even though we don't see Moon Studios, there could be a possibility we could be seeing anything that is related to Ori in the sense about the multi-platform shift. Now, although we cannot predict what's going to happen for the Summer Game Fest, but there could be a possibility of seeing a trailer for a PlayStation port for the Ori series. But all we can do now is wait for the next 9 days for the Summer Game Fest to go live. With PlayStation saying the State of Play returns tomorrow, June 4th. Watch live at 2 p.m. PT, 11 p.m. CEST on YouTube and Twitch for news and updates on great games coming to PS5. Now, whether or not we're going to be getting any news about the Ori series going to PlayStation in regards of the Xbox multi-platform shift, we're gonna have to wait and see for what's gonna be in the State of Play showcase. Even though it's hypothetical, I am hoping that I get to see this tomorrow. Streaming Friday, June 6th, with Jeff Keighley hosting the live event. At 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. BST, 11 p.m. CEST, and 6 a.m. JST. Now, if you remember, yesterday was a PlayStation State of Play, which in my opinion was pretty decent, and sadly we haven't gotten any news about Ori going to PlayStation. Now, Well, like I said, we don't know if it's going to be shown on the Summer Game Fest, but I'm crossing my fingers that hopefully tomorrow we get to see a trailer of both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps get ported to PlayStation. And that is going to conclude for our daily Ori 3 news. If you guys did enjoy this 100th day special and want to see the 200th day special, stay tuned to see if we'll ever get news that's anything related to Ori 3 or anything Ori related for that matter. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Another surprise that I do want to give you guys, and that is that I have made an official Discord. The link is in the description. You can join right now. It's still under the work in progress, so please be patient for any updates in regards of the daily Ori 3 news Discord server. That's gonna be it. Once again, thank you all for your support, and I'll be seeing you all next time.